This is the Reds Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the Postcast, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Media Network. I'm Tim Daniel. I've been podcasting about the Reds for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and the Riverfront. And I want to thank you for spending some time with me here on your early Saturday evening as we discuss the Cincinnati Reds taking a bummer of a loss today to the San Diego Padres, 6-4 at Great American Ballpark. If you are just checking me out for the first time, welcome. We're so excited to have you. Please be sure to hit that subscription button here on YouTube and also hit that notification button so you can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but get Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, where your first $5 bet can win you up to $150 in bonus bets. On tonight's show, we had a bullpen blunder today. The bullpen, the taxing of the bullpen is coming through. We're going to talk about that. Offense still going strong. Four runs today, 10 hits. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to discuss Andrew Abbott's outing as well. And obviously, I'm going to hear from you guys and hear what you guys have to say. Everyone, it's a stinky loss today, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
So we saw today what happens when Andrew Abbott isn't great. He was good. We're going to, like I said, we'll get to that in the last segment of the show. But today, the bullpen did not have his back. And really, two guys didn't have his back. Scott Barlow gave up his first homer in a long time, had been pitching really well for a while, and then gave up that 2-run shot. At this point, they're up 4-1. They're down 4-3 at this point. And then Lyon Richardson, who I was just fully suspecting. I'd really enjoyed what the Reds have been getting from him, but you could just tell that he was pitching over his head there for a bit. And today, that bill came due as well, as he gave up the eventual 3-run home run to Gavin Sheets that put the Padres up. From there, Brent Suter does a solid inning at third, and Ian Jabot does an inning as well. You can tell that there's some things going here that aren't very good. And one thing in particular is that Terry Francona's done a really good job managing the bullpen throughout the season. Given the talent that's there. But to some point, you just knew you were going to have games like this. And as you can tell, this isn't like last Saturday. I'm not throwing things. I'm not pissed off that they lost today. But they definitely should have won this game. I will say that for sure. Through today, 18th is the bullpen in ERA, 25th in fielding independent pitching, 26th in expected fielding independent pitching, 20th in strikeouts, and 8th highest in walk rate for the bullpen right now. So what Tito's been able to do with this bullpen as they've been going through all this, it's pretty shocking. And that that run that Richardson gave up the Sheets, it just felt inevitable. You could just see it coming. He couldn't find the strike zone. He puts the ball up a little higher than he'd been throwing the rest of the outing. He smoked it. And especially the way Gavin Sheets swung the bat today. He was really, really good for the Padres. You got to give your respect where respect's due there. But today kind of showed that if the Reds really want to take this next step, and one of the things I hear from you guys on a day-to-day basis that I totally agree with is I feel like this team has earned the right for ownership to go and try to make them better. And I completely agree with that. Now, yes, you should always want your team to be better. But what I feel like you guys are saying there is look, we've been starving for a playoff opportunity for a very long time. We want to see this team win. We feel like there are good enough players now that we can add on to. And I think the bullpen's an easier fix than finding a power hitter. And especially right now, because Taylor Rogers can't get people out and Brent Suter's being used for so many different things. Go get a lefty reliever. They got to get one. They have to get one. One that they can rely on to get outs. And I think they can rely on Suter to get outs, but the way that they use Suter is you can't use him as much as you'd like to because Sundays he's opening. Some days, if their starter doesn't go long enough, he's going to go out there and try to cover those innings. Some days he's doing what he has to do tonight, where it's mop-up duty. They need a lefty out of the pen really bad. And I'm not sure the names that are out there. I know people hate me when I say this, but I would for sure call the Red Sox and see if they're willing to talk about a Aroldis Chapman. And I know everyone's going to say things to put in my face. Look at the numbers. He's still good. He still gets people out. And it was just a day that you saw coming eventually. And it kind of happened a little bit in the Yankees game too. Will, that's a great question. I don't know if he's just if his arm fell off or what. If he just doesn't have knuckles anymore, I have no idea what's going on with Sam Moll. But I feel like he'd be certainly helpful for this right now. And like Matthew says it here, the crowd's been awesome for about 2 or 3 weeks, throughout June. The Reds have had a really good June. And so I feel like the bullpen's an easier fix, I should say. What's up, Bryson? How are you? Thanks for stopping in. Than it is to go find a power hitter right now. And I think there's options out there. If it's not Chapman, which I know a lot of people would say they don't want Chapman, and I get that. I certainly get that. But there's someone's got to have a lefty out there the Reds can look at potentially getting into. And I think that's one huge thing they need, just a guy they can go out there to count on. That's someone that can just go get some lefties out. And I'm not just talking about Gavin Sheets here. He just had a day that was out of this world, and he was awesome tonight. I don't know if he's going to have a better day or if he's had a better day in his career so far. I have a hard time believing it. But today was just one of those days where you can just see how often they've used it. And I get it. They had an off day on Thursday. Nick Martinez went just about 9 innings last night, did everything possible to go as far as he could. So the bullpen got a couple days rest there, and Taylor Rogers was not good last night, by the way. But yeah, I think for me, I'm trying to find a lefty reliever tonight, right now. If I'm Nick Kroll, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let's go get one. Because this team, I don't think is too far from being a playoff contender. I think this team has a couple guys they can go get. And I think the current roster with how they've played through June deserves to have guys, if they're serious about winning, if this whole conversation about they DFA'd Candelario, if this is about because they're serious about winning, this is being serious about winning, going and improving your roster as much as you possibly can. Because I think we all know they have a shot. They're not out of it. I mean, they're not as close as we'd like them to be as far as in the division, but things can happen. It's baseball. Schedule's not horrible the rest of the way. But we'll kind of get to that as well. So where the bullpen kind of didn't give the Reds the benefit today, one thing that did get going today, again, though they did leave a lot of guys on base, was the offense. So let's talk about the offense and what they did today a little bit here after this. Have you ever decided last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where GameTime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to go with you. GameTime makes it possible. GameTime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. GameTime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for games such as this weekend when they do Big Red Machine celebration as the Cincinnati Reds are taking on the San Diego Padres. GameTime has last-minute tickets and zone deals for big savings like 10% off exclusive zone deals for FIFA Club World Cup Championships. Seat views right in the app before you buy so you know exactly where you'll be. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the GameTime app. Lowest prices, last-minute tickets, guaranteed. Want to give a shout out to some of my everydayers here who spend time with me on the postcast, and thank you guys again for hanging out with me. We got Lonnie in the chat. Lonnie's a regular. Will Williams, Johnny G, Matthew Nelson, Bryson. It's good to see you all. Jesse, how you doing? Thanks for spending some time with me. Even on the day they lose, I still have my peeps here, and it's definitely appreciated. If you're just checking me out for the first time, though, as everyone here in the chat will tell you, this is the place to be after the Reds games. We have a lot of fun together. But you can also hit that notification button so you can not only get my show, but you get Jeff and Steve on Locked On Reds Monday through Friday. And if you can't watch us on YouTube, please be sure to hit that notification button. On your podcast app of choice, and you'll get all of our shows right in your pocket each and every day. All right, guys. So I would say that this game probably got out of control at this point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Lyon Richardson giving Gavin Sheets a meatball is pretty when the Padres took the lead from there was really when this game was falling out of place for the Reds. And it's a game. It's one night. Try not to get too upset about it. Go out there and try to win this series tomorrow, and I think they can. The offense today. There's some really good. There's some bad. Let's talk the really good. 10 hits today. Love it. 3 guys with 2 hits today. Friedel, McLean, Lux. Ellie De La Cruz did not get a hit today. 2 walks. Getting on base. Love to see it. Spencer Steer couldn't recreate his magic from last night. Does get a hit. Tyler Stevenson does get a walk today. So the only guys who got at bats today for the Reds that didn't get a hit were Ellie, who also drew walks, and Austin Hayes, who had 1 at bat, and Stevenson. So you like that part about it. I love the 10 hits. I love getting on base. 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You take that most days. That's solid. There's some bad. TJ Friedel gets picked off in the first inning. TJ Friedel is our heads-up guy. He is our fire starter. And I don't necessarily think it was like he was sleeping. I think that was a hell of a pickoff play, though he was a little farther down the line than I probably would have liked him to be. So that's a bummer. And, Reese Hines gets robbed on that hit. Lenny mentioned it there. I think that was Gavin Sheets there too. Gavin Sheets might be a nice guy, but I don't like him as a baseball fan. Okay. He's a jerk because he was incredible today. But thought that hurt. And it feels like they just couldn't find that one hit, right? That hit they really needed. And they left 9 guys on base today. They lose by 2. So those things go hand in hand, obviously. Still getting 7 outs for runners in scoring position. Could have really done better there. I'm not going to get too upset about that because the 300 batting average with runners in scoring position, you'll take that from any individual player. So it's hard to get super mad about that. But I just feel like it was like any chance they had to have that one big moment to just like play add-on, they couldn't do it. And I think that's what they've done really well now for a while, is they have been able to play add-on. Or if someone did take a lead on them, they did find a way to bounce back. Today just wasn't there. And I'm not mad at them. I'm not frustrated. I'm not irritated. I just thought that today was one of those days where the Padres bullpen did their thing. And, you got to tip your cap to them. So, Vasquez left in the 5th. He had only gone 4 1/3. And at that point had 9 hits on 4 runs. All the Padres did the rest of the way. And 4 2/3 inning was give up 1 hit. That's it. So, they did their thing. Kudos to them. Tip your cap. It just wasn't the Reds all day there. I thought the offense competed. They had really good at-bats, and San Diego just did their thing. Their bullpen was awesome today. Respect. Think tomorrow, we maybe try to get to their bullpen a little sooner. And Johnny, I understand, man. You're right. I definitely thought they should have won today. Maybe that's my fault, though. I feel like I'm actually getting to this point now where I expect them to win when I turn the TV on to watch them. And maybe I shouldn't because, this is the Cincinnati Reds we're talking about here. But, we go back at it tomorrow. We see what we can do. Let's get to our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I guess I'll go Andrew Abbott. I don't know. There's probably a guy offensively you can give credit to. Matt McLean had a really good day. Like we mentioned, Gavin Lux had a good day. TJ Friedel had a solid day, but it wasn't like any of those guys had some huge hit. Gavin Lux had a really nice hit there, obviously, but I don't know if they don't had the game-changing offensive play by any means. I kind of said at the beginning of the show, Andrew Abbott wasn't great today, but you'll absolutely take a 5 innings, 1 run outing. Gave you a chance to win. They were winning when he left the game, and the bullpen let him down. Sucks. I love that, Johnny says right here, fought hard without his best stuff and definitely kept in the game. 100%. Did everything he possibly could to win the game. And that's why he is who he is at this point. I mean, he had 4 strikeouts today, did have 2 walks. Luis Arias had a home run. You live with that, right? I mean, they just snapped his 12-game hitting streak yesterday. And that's a good baseball team over there. I mean, that's a good baseball team. But just seemed like Abbott wasn't his best, and that's okay. He has the right to not have a day where he's his best. But he gave them a chance to win. I thought he pitched well enough to win. And, Scott Barlow and Lyon Richardson did what they did. And it happened. It played out the way it shouldn't have. So for him, I'm not going to sit here and say like there's things I want him to improve on or he needs to fix here and there. Guy's been lights out for a month now, 2 months now. Certainly deserves to be an all-star. And if he's not, there's something very much wrong with Dave Roberts and what he has going on over there in Los Angeles as far as picking the team. But, that's all not in our hands at this moment, but I think he'll get in. It'd be hard pressed not to. Good day today, not great today. Battled, gave him a chance to win, had a 3-run lead when he left. Reds should have closed the door there. They just couldn't get it done. Sucks, but we all move on and we get ready for game 3 tomorrow with a chance to win their 6th out of last 7 series against the San Diego Padres. So today, the San Diego Padres are victors over the Cincinnati Reds 6-4. The Padres 6 runs on 12 hits, no errors. The Cincinnati Reds 4 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher today is Brian Hoeing. That's his first win of the season. Lyon Richardson takes his 2nd loss of the year. He's now 0-2. And Robert Suarez picks up his 23rd save of the season for the Padres. The Redlegs and the Padres will have the rubber match tomorrow. We all know how good the Reds are in rubber matches this year. At 1:40 p.m., as Nick Lodolo takes the hill, he is 5-5 with a 3.63 ERA. He'll be going against Stephen Kolek of the Padres, who is 3-3 with a 3.95. So I'll be airing a little bit later that afternoon. And before I do get out of here, I want to make sure I make mention, obviously, right before the first pitch of the day, news came out that Reds legend Dave Parker passed away a month before he's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. So that sucks. Rest in peace to the Cobra. I got lucky to meet Dave Parker a couple times, and all these stories you hear about how cool Dave Parker is, yeah, it was true. Dave Parker is really cool. So my condolences to him and his family. I cannot wait still to celebrate his legacy in Cooperstown. I hope they do a great job for him. It just sucks he couldn't be there. But that's all from me today, you all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on this afternoon. I'm Tim Daniel. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.